Hello, everybody. My name is Connor, and this is going to be another daily therapy vlog mandated by the courts and the CIA so I can know what I'm headed toward in the future. Porn star, what's it called? Fame? Porn star fame? Yeah, so I thought I would wear a bathrobe and put a bunch of aquaphor on my face and scalp and hair and neck to change the way I look, because it seems to be a magical force unknown to me. I've noticed some facial asymmetry. I'm starting to get a little concerned. I'm a little upset that I've developed some facial asymmetry, and I would like to correct it. I want a perfectly symmetrical face. I don't know what I did to deserve this. God, why would you make my face asymmetrical? I do not know. Perhaps God works in mysterious ways, and the outcome of my behavior is something that will ultimately help me, even if I don't like how my body's changing. And what that is, I don't know. But one thing I've noticed is that doing job applications, as hard as it is an extremely effective way to get what I want in this world, power in this world. And it's a hell of a lot of fun to work for money. At this point, I have no interest in school. As much as I love psychology and exercise science, I don't see myself completing a degree in either subject, so I might as well just not waste my time at college. So I'm just going to move on and start working for money like a lot of people. And there's working for money is a great way to meet people. It's a great way to socialize. It's a great way to earn money. It's a great way to build a sense of responsibility and independence, self-esteem and confidence as well. I know everyone's a little bit more confident when they have some extra money laying around. Well, I shouldn't speak for everyone. I can only speak for myself, because this is what vlogging is all about. It's about what I'm doing. It's about my life. It's about my future, and really anything I want to experience, anything I want to do, anything I want to be. I've found myself in a state of positivity. My mind has improved, I believe. I'm taking a break from marijuana. No matter how much I think about it, or find it thrilling, fun, euphoric, it's just one of those things I'm deciding to do. But I might break down and use again. I don't know. It is pretty good. Marijuana is pretty good. Yeah. Nicotine helps me think. I feel like doing some writing, some script writing, story writing. And I've been thinking about speaking things into existence. Been thinking about positivity, spreading positivity instead of hate or violence or anything negative. Whenever I find myself thinking something negative, I try to correct myself and tell myself that's wrong. It's not wrong to think something negative. It's wrong to believe in something negative, because ultimately negativity doesn't get me anything, but positivity does get me things. It gets me a lot of things. So I'm smart enough to know that I should choose to be kind and nice and positive and reap what I sow. And I'm always a little bit angry when I come off medication, but I don't think I'm a bad person. I think I just get angry sometimes, and I don't have an outlet, a channel for the anger, I want to take some boxing lessons to see if I can channel my negativity, negative emotions, negative thoughts. I want to be able to find a appropriate outlet, because I know what's appropriate and I know what's inappropriate. I can't really say anything mean about anyone, because what does that get me? It doesn't get me anything good. No, sir, it does not get me anything good. And I've known that for a long time. But talking about this topic is really changing my brain, because if I religiously begin to seek kindness, positivity, it can change my brain to be a happier brain. And at the end of the day, being happy is a pretty damn good state to be in. It is. There's poor people who are happy. There's rich people who are happy. There's rich people who are unhappy, and there's poor people who are unhappy. And everywhere in between. Middle class people who are happy, middle class people who are unhappy, of all different races, ethnicities, sexes, creeds, religions, all around the world. So I want to ask a question. Did you, the viewer, wake up today and choose to be happy? Are you choosing to be happy? Because I believe that happiness is an inherent trait. It's a personality trait. It's a choice. It's not a feeling that we can chase or pursue. It's something I have to remind myself all the time. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. Now, what does it mean to be happy? That's a very hard question to answer. Many people will say many different things. And I'm going to say that I don't know what it means to be happy. I'm still trying to figure that out and learn what it means to be happy. I was happier off medication, for instance. You might say, how is that possible? You were crazy. You're doing all these things. There's all this evidence of you doing all these crazy things. You were saying crazy things, doing crazy things. You couldn't sleep. You were you were talking to yourself hours a day. How could you be happy? I was. I don't know how. I just was. And I don't regret anything about that time in my life. I think I was having a pretty good time, to be honest. Could have done something else and had an even better time. Yeah, probably. But that's a limiting viewpoint because no matter what you're doing, if you tell yourself that you could be happier doing something else, then what are you really doing? You're not living in reality anymore. At that point, you're lying to yourself or becoming unhappy by saying that what you're doing isn't good enough. So I am on medication. I don't plan on coming off, but I plan on tapering it down because it sucks. It sucks. Sleeping is wonderful, and I love to sleep when the time is right. I don't want to undersleep. I don't want to oversleep. It's healthiest to have the proper amount of sleep and no more and no less. So I don't see myself having any sleep problems as I taper down medication because I'm on a huge cocktail. And some psychiatrists believe that any more than 3 medications and it's just a mess, and they don't really know what medication is doing what at that point. Is that true? It might be. I don't really know. But I do think it's a little ridiculous to be on 4 different medications or 5 different medications at once. It's not proper. It's not. I don't really feel great either way. Um, is it benefiting me? Sleep's beneficial. Um, the way I think and feel doesn't really get me a lot. I feel I'm much more alpha when I'm not on any medication. That's true. In fact, I become so alpha that I do harmful, terrible things to others and get into trouble and all sorts of shenanigans. So maybe 1 or 2 medications would be ideal, but taking 4 or 5 is just a little bit crazy, I think. I don't think it's efficacious. Now, I could keep Googling this topic and find evidence that supports my viewpoint, but what's the point? Because I already don't want to take medication. Or I should say, I want to take less medication, less different kinds of medication, and less dosages of the medication now, or at some point in the future, in this near future, as soon as possible. I have gone cold turkey in the past, and it does not work. The side effects are noticeable. It's a real thing. Brain addiction, that sort of thing. Because what I learned studying psychiatric medications is that the brain's actually addicted to them. And that's why tapering and titrating is a thing. You come off too soon. I get problems. If I come off too soon, I get problems, not you, the viewer. I'm not talking directly to the viewer. I'm talking about my experiences. And the opposite of tapering is titrating, which is increasing the amount of medication, the amount of dosage of the medication. Take too much too soon, and I got problems. So there has to be some sort of balance, some sort of equilibrium, and I don't know why they want me to take these medications. They can give me a bunch of bullshit answers, but I don't care about the answers because they're all lies and it's just manipulation. So that's going to be something to keep on working on in the future. So besides medication, what else did I want to talk about? I feel, at this point in my life, I'm very focused, motivated to find a source of income. And I know I say a lot of things like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, blah, 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 and I never do anything. So I'm trying to think about something productive to say where I'm not making a bunch of false promises. I'm trying really hard to come across as a likable, kind person who's intelligent and thoughtful and not the other autistic characters and personas that I portray. And hopefully the judge sees it that way, because only God can judge me. Only God can judge me. And there is no God but one God. There is a God and only one God. I have a hard time breathing. That's enough of that. And can get me feeling lightheaded sometimes if I vape too much. I'm extremely bored. And I don't know what to do. Weed's wonderful. doctors think I should take a break from consuming social media content and just Google how to make really good social media content. Because I think I'm a likable enough person and intelligent enough to learn how to get more popular on social media. I do believe it. I do believe I can learn how to become more popular on social media. And likability is one of the most important traits a person can have. I think being a decent moral person is one thing I can do to become more likable in this society, in this world. Now, when I do this persona, I like to think about Marshall Applewhite and Bill Cosby as influences who, well, Bill Cosby was a children's entertainer who preached about how important it was to be a moral, kind person, a decent neighbor, a good friend, a good family member, employed working person in this society. And he was just a hypocrite who didn't do any of that. Well, he might have, but the whole rape allegations, proved that he was a hypocrite and a bit of a narcissistic psychopath. So, that's not who I am. But I have a lot of personas. I guess that's what it's called. I'm not formally trained in acting. I've never taken an acting class. I like acting and pretending to be different people and different things and different voices and all this type of stuff, but I don't really know what I'm doing. I just do it for fun. I find it very hard to talk to a camera and be as likable and intelligent as possible and not act a fool, not say a bunch of dumb things. But I love to play around with the personas, I guess. I think the Aquaphor helps. The Aquaphor gives me holiness, holy powers. When I wear the Aquaphor, I feel like I'm being blessed by God. And I always remind myself what my goals are, which are to make money in the fitness industry, the porn industry, the modeling industry. And one way I can make money in the modeling industry is to be a good role model for the women, the children, adults, children, elderly, animals, whatever it is. I can be a good role model. I think about how I portray myself in the media. I'm constantly thinking about it, how I portray myself to others with the way I dress, the way I look, my body language, my facial expressions, my emotions, my words, my actions, everything is it's extremely important to think about those things and calibrate how exactly I want to, who I want to be, what I want to do. I think that's enough for today. I'm going to end the vlog here. I've talked about a lot of different topics, a lot of different things, and I'll probably be uploading again tomorrow. But for now, goodbye.